So the latest leaks and spoilers of JJK is finally out, and it is a crazy one because after the last chapter, we saw that Sukuna actually saw a figure that looks like Gojo, and the huge question from last week's chapter was that is this was an illusion or this was actual Gojo coming back from the dead? And these spoilers and leaks had a lot of people freak out because for a second we actually thought that Kenjaku took over Gojo's body, but in actuality it was actually Yuta. Yuta learned Kenjaku's curse technique and he was able enough to go on ahead and transfer his body into Gojo. We continue where we left off in the beginning of the chapter as we see that Yuji is trying to crush the heart of Sukuna. As Sukuna started to notice and realize that someone is emerging from the smoke and the debris from his last attack. And this beginning of the chapter, we can actually see that Yuji, while he's about to crush Sukuna's heart, he starts to think about Chozo. But as someone is emerging through the smoke, Sukuna's in disbelief because he actually sees Gojo. And since he sees Gojo, he's just like, wait a minute, I killed you. I used my curse technique. I sliced you in half. How is this even possible? Like, what is going on? But then Sukuna starts to realize that, wait a minute, this is not Gojo. This is actually Yuta. As he goes on ahead and prays and apologize to Yuta, because he says that I apologize, I underestimate you, Yuta, as he's just basically just saying I was unfamiliar with your game and I'm actually impressed on what you're able to do. Because when you see this chapter, you actually see the stitches around Gojo's head, and at first you think that this is Kenjaku, but actually it is Yuta. And Yuta was able enough to go on ahead and use Kenjaku's curse technique thanks to the help of Rika, because Rika was able to devour Kenjaku, because after Yuta was able to kill Kenjaku and finish him off, Rika was able to devour Kenjaku and copy his ability. And that's how Yuta was able to use this curse technique. So we go into a flashback as Yuta is explaining everyone about this plan, because this plan is technically the last resort, because Yuta's ordeal is that he's going to go on ahead and fight against Sukuna if Gojo lose. And if he's badly injured and he can't fight, then he's going to go on ahead and do the swapping bodies technique. And as he's explaining everyone about this plan, Maki's the only one that objects, but Hikari goes on ahead and he actually says like, hey, what other plans are we going to use if everyone is wiped out? We don't have any options. As Kusasabe says that we can't just copy the limitless from Gojo's body, as Shoko says that you can't even use the limitless without the 6 eyes. Then Kusasabe says then just copy the 6 eyes. Then Shoko says that you can't even copy the 6 eyes because it's a part of a physical body. It is not a curse technique that can't be copied. So in the meantime, they go on ahead and do the pros and cons of this whole ordeal if Yuta goes on ahead and do the body swap. But Yuta goes on ahead and he says that, look, we got no other options. And Yuta was standing on business. Yuta stated that, look, I ain't worrying about no humane. We are fighting against the strongest sorcerer of all time. And you guys are wondering about humane. You thinking about that I will become a monster. He was just like, forget this. We have to live. This is life or death. I ain't worrying about the consequences of this. I'm just trying to win and trying to survive. After Yuta gave his I'm standing on business speech, then everyone goes on ahead and agrees with Yuta as Yuta goes and tell Gojo about the plan. As Gojo says, sure, why not? I could care less. He was just like, I'm going to be dead anyways, so you can go ahead and use my body. I give you consent. And then the scene have shifted and it looks like it is implied that this is the moment where we see that Gojo is actually killing the higher ups. It looks like that's that scene because we see Gochu Ganji. He's like standing and on top of the Jujutsu's headquarters, and we just see that Gojo is telling everyone to stand back as he closed the door, and it looks like this is the moment where we see that Gojo actually goes on ahead and kills the rest of the higher ups. The scene has shifted to where we see that Yuji's friend, the person that Yuji met during the beginning of the calling games, he is explaining how his curse technique actually works, and he can actually amplify the sugar within his body and to the output in itself to any kinds of way, as Shoko has put him into the medical team so that way she could have some support on when she has to go on ahead and recover the bodies. So when the scene shifted again, where we actually see the aftermath of what happened to Yuta's body after he has been receiving those flashes that we saw that Sukuna has activated. So Yuta is cut in half due to Sukuna's flashes, and he has been rushed into the medical ward as Yuji's friend goes on ahead and uses the curse technique to avoid Yuta's wounds from getting worse, so it might be too late. Then Yuta says that his unconsciousness thanks to Rika, but he's starting to reach his limit. Shoko tells Yuta that she has already snatched up the corpses, of Gojo's body, and once Yuta has switched, he will have activated the reverse curse technique maximum capacity and complete the body. And then we go back to the present as we see that Sukuna and Yuta and Gojo's body are about to open their domain, as the narration says that Gojo has already shown the situation to Sukuna's open barrier domain. As the chapter ends, as both of these sorcerers do their domain expansion as they both clash again. And the chapter just ends as we see Sukuna on one side and we see Yuta and Gojo's body on the other side using Ultimate Void and Malevolent Shrine. And that's just pretty much what we got from this latest chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen. So let me know down in the comment section how you guys feel about this chapter. I am honestly just 100% just on the boat of kind of laughing at the Gojo's fans because they were just celebrating a whole bunch of times last week thinking that Gojo actually came back. But in this chapter, we kind of see how Yuta was able to switch the bodies of Gojo, which is very hilarious. But let me know down in the comment section how you guys feel about this chapter. Let me know down in the comment section, are you guys mad? Are you guys happy? What you guys think? Let me know. And if you guys do like the video, hit the like and subscribe button. And remember, always be decent. This is the Monotone Man, and hope you guys have a wonderful day and be safe out here. Peace.